Hey, I'm Thomas from Glass Alchemy, and today I'm going to be walking you through the Alchemist Guide to Boromax Chemistry. The projects in the Alchemist Guide have been designed to help you understand the chemistry of color. By understanding the chemistry of the glass, you will be able to use any color in the Glass Alchemy color palette. The projects have been designed to show you success, so when you reach a color's limit, you'll be able to identify the problem and self-correct. Before we get started with the color, I want to review some of the basics of your studio setup. This kit includes one rod of the following colors: Amazon Night 987, Learn to Test for a Neutral Flame, Kryptonite 461, Agua Azul 446, Black Violet 974, and Cobalt 4 514. Learn the properties of ionic and colloidal colors: Triple Passion 786, Jasper Red 132, Dragon's Blood 1939, Persimmon Strike 2383, and Dragon's Eye 4838. Learn to strike silver and copper colors: Yellow Crayon 304. Learn to use cadmium colors without encasing in clear: Jackpot 4598 and Shamrock 4494. Learn to use chrome colors: Disco Sparkle 9958. Learn to make your own sparkle colors: One Frit Packet, Amazon Bronze 287, Persimmon Strike 2383, Alchemy Mint 441. Experience 3 Frit colors in 3 Frit grades. This kit also includes 1 packet of clear Frit, 1 rod of Amazon Bronze 287, Twilight 548, Peacock Chameleon 5486, Brilliant Blue 592, Snow White 9995, and a 4mm sample. Torch terminology. The flame is often referred to as reducing, neutral, or oxidizing. This kit uses the artistic terminology common in the USA. A flame with excess propane will be referred to as reducing, and a flame with excess oxygen will be called oxidizing. Neutral flame composition. Inner flame, reducing zone, neutral zone. Outer flame, oxidizing zone. Torch flame. Before getting started, all projects in this kit should be performed in a neutral flame. When adjusted properly, the flame will have 3 zones. The reducing zone is close to the torch head, the tip of the flame is the oxidizing zone, and the zone in between is the neutral zone. By performing a neutral flame test, you can ensure your flame consistently has the same working properties. By having a neutral flame, you can now have repeatable results. Before working with a new rod, fire cut the end because mechanically cut ends are prone to bubbling and devitrification. To fire cut, heat the end of the rod and pull it off with tweezers. What is striking? As far as glass goes, without getting into too many details, striking is a color change in the base color of the glass that occurs when a glass is reheated above the strain point. At the right temperature, you are able to create a chemical reaction within the glass without melting it. With that said, striking silver and copper colors is a time-temperature relationship and can be done in the flame or the kiln. Kiln striking versus flame striking. So striking colors can be flame or kiln struck. This kit will walk you through examples of both types of striking with a variety of silver and copper colors. We will make recommendations in the kit on whether to kiln or flame strike, but once you learn the techniques, you can decide which method is best for you. Kiln striking generally provides the artist with much more control of the final color outcome. The Glass Alchemy numbering system. You will notice that each Glass Alchemy color has a number in addition to a name. We have created a color numbering system based on the chemical properties of the glass. By understanding what the numbers mean, you will be able to choose colors based on their chemical properties and know how to work them by the end of this project kit. The first number is based on the Roy G. Biv spectrum and represents the primary color of the glass. For example, 100 equals red, 200 equals orange, etc. The second and third number, the third number in a color with 4 numbers, indicates the primary colorant so that the artist knows what properties they are dealing with. The last number in all colors generally indicates the color's saturation level. For example, cobalt 6 516 has a higher saturation than cobalt 1 511. Colors included in this kit are represented on the chart. Primary colorant: cadmium 0, cobalt 1, cobalt and copper combined 2, copper 3, chrome 4, sparkle 5, rare earth 6, manganese 7, silver 8, other 9. Primary color, first number: red 100, orange 200, yellow 300, green 400, blue 500, indigo 600, violet 700, brown 800, neutral 900. Project: setting a neutral flame. Glass Alchemy recommends you always work with the neutral flame, as it helps maintain consistency and vibrancy in your work and eliminates any cracking issues associated with chrome colors. The neutral flame test in borosilicate was developed at Glass Alchemy with Amazon Night 987 and is now an industry standard. No flame will ever be neutral from base to tip, and each torch has a different neutral zone. The area closest to the torch face tends to be reducing, so don't work too close. When properly set, the middle section is neutral and the ideal flame for working colored borosilicate. Heat the rod of Amazon Night 987 until it glows a dull orange. Remove it from the flame and cool. If the rod does not change color, you have a neutral flame. If the rod is light sky blue or has a metallic sheen, that means the flame is reducing and the propane needs to be decreased. Note that the propane to oxygen ratio depends on the torch you are using. If the rod is sky blue, the flame is very reducing and should be adjusted by decreasing the propane pressure at the regulator, for example, from 4 pounds to 2 pounds. If the rod has a metallic luster, try decreasing the propane on the torch or at the regulator in 1/4 pound increments until you are able to heat the rod without a color change. Project: flame strike a translucent silver color. Triple Passion 786 is a translucent silver color. The 8 in 786 means that this color contains silver that produces amber, orange, ruby red, red purple, purple, blue, then green colors when heated properly. There are many effects that are achievable with this color, but the goal of this project is to get repeatable results. Make a gather of Triple Passion 786. Work it very hot until it goes clear. Metals may appear on the surface, which will vaporize as you continue to heat. Remove from the flame and cool until the orange glow disappears. You can stick the rod under the table to ensure the orange glow is gone. Reintroduce your piece into the outer flame to obtain a dull orange glow and hold for a count of 3 and remove. As it cools, it will strike a deep purple and you will have successfully flame-struck Triple Passion. If you dodge in and out of the flame to look at your color, the core temperature will cool and you will get an uneven strike. If a blue-green-gray haze develops on the surface, then you have overstruck. Try reheating to erase the striking history. To push into the blue and green region, continue to flame strike or kiln strike at 1075 for approximately 30 minutes. The kiln time depends on the size of your piece. Project: striking copper rubies. There are a number of different types of ruby colors in glass. All of Glass Alchemy's ruby colors contain copper, indicated by number 3 in the middle of the code, which produces a bright, beautiful red color. Glass Alchemy has ruby colors that are self-striking and ruby colors that we recommend striking in the kiln to produce the most controlled results. Work the rod of Dragon's Blood, 1939, in a neutral flame and create a gather. The rod will go clear as you heat it and will strike back as it cools. Dragon's Blood, 1939, was designed to self-strike upon cooling. If you want an even richer red, you can continue to strike this color in the flame or the kiln for more controlled results. Project: striking a copper-silver color. In this project, you will apply the striking knowledge you have acquired in the last two exercises. Since Persimmon Strike 2383 is both a copper and silver color, notice the 3 and 8 in the code, there is no written rule on whether to kiln or flame strike, although we recommend you strike the silver in the flame and let the copper strike in the kiln for the widest range of results. Keep in mind it is a time-temperature relationship, and the silver will continue to strike in the kiln. Flame strike the rod of Persimmon Strike 2383, following the same steps you did with Triple Passion 786. Remember, you are in control of the flame strike, and you can stop once you reach the desired color. Nice. Once you have the color you want, try striking the rod of Persimmon Strike in the kiln to bring out the orangey pink colors. Project: erase the striking history. If you strike past the color you desire, you can erase the striking history and start the striking process over with translucent silver colors. Stick the rod in the flame and get the gather white hot. You should see the gather go clear and you can begin your strike over again. Achieving metallic luster. Certain silver colors are formulated to achieve a metallic luster. Colors that achieve metallic luster are generally highly saturated, so you do not see the color change of the base glass as you do with Persimmon Strike 2383, which is more translucent. You will achieve the best metallic results with the Glass Alchemy Amazon and Carnival colors. Project: achieving metallic luster with Dragon's Eye 4838. Make a gather and let it cool. The gather should be the same color as the rod. A neutral flame is necessary to achieve this result. Turn your oxygen off on the torch and turn the propane up until there is a half-inch gap between the torch head and the visible flame. Turn on and slowly open the oxygen valve. Depending on your torch, this could get loud. Your flame should now be bushy at the tip. Each torch is different, so be sure to experiment. Reintroduce your gather and reheat to an orange glow. Your rod should now have a beautiful metallic luster. If there is carbon on your gather, first, move the gather towards the outer flame. If there is still carbon, increase your oxygen. This project may take some practice, but the metallic luster is worth it. Working cadmium colors, aka crayon colors. Glass Alchemy is the birthplace of the borosilicate crayon colors, which are made with cadmium, indicated by the number 0 in the code. Cadmium is a chemical that sublimes, goes from solid to gas with no liquid state, around 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a common working temperature for borosilicate. As a result, you need to work these colors further out in the flame where there is less heat transfer to the rod. Glass Alchemy has formulated our crayon colors to minimize working issues and provide the artist with the most usable cadmium colors on the market. Project: working cadmium colors unencased. Introduce the rod of yellow crayon 304 into the outer flame. As you are heating and forming a gather, gradually move the rod into the neutral zone and avoid getting the glass white hot. Gradually move the rod to the neutral zone. The gather should maintain a smooth appearance. If the gather exhibits a foamy appearance, the color has sublimed. Fire cut the used part of the rod and repeat the same exercise, slowing down the speed you introduce the gather into the neutral zone. Repeat until you find the appropriate working sweet spot in the flame. Once you find the sweet spot, there will not be any sublimation. Note: each cadmium pigment has its own sublimation point, and you will need to keep this in mind when introducing new cadmium colors into your palette. Understanding chrome colors. Chrome is generally found in green and sparkle colors and is indicated by the 4 in the color code. Work Glass Alchemy chromes in a neutral flame, garage at 980 and anneal at 1050 to produce beautiful greens and sparkles with no cracking. Project: Encasing chrome colors. Traditionally, people have experienced cracking when encasing chrome colors. This project will show you how you can work these colors without cracking issues. Make a gather of clear. Heat the end of jackpot 4598 and make a large dot in the center of the gather. Melt the dot completely in and add a gather of clear on top. This gather should be similar in size to your original gather and completely encase the dot of jackpot. Prior to burning off the extra punty rod, cool and tug while the glass has a slight orange glow. At this point, the glass is too stiff to move, but the process of putting the glass under tension aligns the sparkles. Burn off the extra punty rod and round the gather into a marble shape and place in the kiln at 1050 for 1 hour. You are successful if there is no checking or cracking. If checking or cracking occurs, ensure your flame is neutral and that you are working in the neutral zone and you have not drifted close to the torch head. Repeat this project with Shamrock 4494. Using Disco Sparkle 9958. A little disco sparkle goes a long way. This project will show you how to make your own sparkle colors by using a disco to clear ratio. Please note that unlike other Glass Alchemy sparkle colors, Disco Sparkle is not a chrome color. Project: Make your own sparkle colors using Disco Sparkle 9958. Make a gather of clear. Heat the end of the Disco Sparkle and make a large dot in the center of the gather. Melt the dot completely in and add a gather of clear on top. This gather should be similar in size to your original gather and completely encase the dot of Disco Sparkle. Make a hot seal at 90 degrees. Melt your initial handle off. Add a handle to the opposite side. With one hand turning one rod clockwise and the other hand turning the other rod counterclockwise, begin to blend the glass. Keep turning and pushing until all the glass is in the blend and the Disco Sparkle is dispersed throughout. This could take 3 to 5 minutes or more depending on how large your project is. Heat the gather until the heat base is even and then pull the gather to the desired length. Note, if your cane has a yellowish brownish look, you got the Disco Sparkle a little too hot. Try working a little further out to keep the silvery look. You can now make your own sparkle colors by replacing the clear with color.